We have here some huge news coming out of the bicycle industry just this weekend. The company HLC, or Holley, otherwise known as, is a massive distributor for bicycle parts and also bicycles in general, have made the statement saying that they're going to make some layoffs and will also be closing down their Texas and Pennsylvania warehouse distribution centers. They only have a total of 4 distribution centers, and they're closing down 2 of them, making them only have 2 left, which is pretty crazy. Is this foreshadowing what is going down in the bicycle industry? You think Holley with such a big reputation, one, are they either seeing or foreshadowing what's going to come in the future and trying to prepare for now? Or 2, they did make some changes at the CEO position and also got bought out by a private equity firm about a year ago. So maybe they're just trying to figure out what is best for the company moving forward. So in today's video, we're going to talk about my point of view of the spectrum, talk about everything that's going on inside of this article as well, and then also foreshadow what could else happen to other companies like Quality, JBI, and is this really about employees or is this really about just overstocked inventory like I've always been talking about in the past, which I'll talk to you guys in just a second. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Bear with me on my voice too, guys, by the way. Lost my voice last Monday. It is what it is. And bear with me on my green screen. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. But yes, so just coming off a video I did a week ago where I talked about Wiggle and the chain reaction, about them closing down a massive e-commerce for parts online for the bicycle industry. They filed for bankruptcy. We have more news about some bad news in the bicycle industry. So right here, HLC makes layoffs and will close Texas and Pennsylvania distribution centers. I actually work with Holley, being our bike store as well. We work with Holley, JBI, and Quality. Those 3 are the 3 biggest of the, I would say, parts or bicycle or anything you really need for a bicycle shop to maintain. Those 3 are the biggest name guys out there in terms of getting to a bicycle retailer. Maybe you don't have contracts with SRAM or Shimano directly. You can outsource those parts from them, tires, spokes, whatever it is. The small bits and pieces that you need to maintain the shop. If you have one of these guys, you can literally have a whole shop and be good. Now, the thing is that with Holley or Quality or JBI, they're limited to what they sell. So like, for instance, Holley has a lot of selection of tires, but they don't sell content on there. Or JBI has a lot of selection of components, but they don't sell Shimano because Shimano sells direct, or Quality will sell them. So that's kind of takeaways from these, and they all have their own little sort of niche. Like Holley was really well known for giving, I think, same-day shipping or 2-day shipping. They were the fastest shipping service that we ever dealt with. And even whenever I had any issues with Holley in terms of figuring out where the shipping was, their quality control and customer service was always great. So that's what I can usually say with my situation with this. But let's get into the article. So it says here, HLC had a round of layoffs that included some e-commerce business solution team, while sources told Brain and South Carolina-based distribution center will close its Texas and Pennsylvania distribution center. Why is this big news? I'm going to tell you guys right now. This warehouse right here, this distribution center, is big news because of this right here. 7 months ago, Holley, HLC, put on, this real quick out of your way, their LinkedIn 7 months ago. 7. Big news for our South Central customers. HLC's new Texas distribution center is officially open. Get ready for lightning fast shipping, increased inventory, and availability to even more retailers. This was on their LinkedIn. 7 months, you open a distribution center, you take out a lease, you get employees for it, you get everything for it, and then 7 months later, you have to close it down. Mind-blowing. Now, again, is this just going to be, one second, sorry about that. Is this just going to be more or less a fail because of the fact that they're not selling, or maybe employees are costing too much? Or is it more or less that they just have an overabundance of inventory and they can't afford to pay that inventory? Just like anything in the world. You get a loan out for goods, you have that goods, you try to sell it to pay back your loans. But if stuff isn't moving and those loans come due, basically what happens is you're sitting on that inventory, the bills come due, you have nothing to sell, no money coming in. I mean, you have to start doing things. You have to close down distribution centers. You have to close down employees. I don't know the exact number of employees being let go. I think it was a small amount. I think it was leaked on LinkedIn how many there was. I'm not going to confirm nor do I. I think it was around 20 of them. But that's just from Holley's company. When you talk about whole distribution center, there's way more employees that go into there. I mean, there's probably just 20 alone on one shift for that. So it's not just a matter of letting go a bunch of like e-commerce website guys, like they said in the article. That's huge news to literally open up a distribution center 7 months ago and then have to close down the same exact one. Same with Pennsylvania. For a company that prided itself on their lightning fast shipping, which they would even post on here and say they did. They had some of the best shipping on their website for sure. For a company that pride themselves and take away 2 of the distribution centers, they're obviously looking to cut costs and figure out a way to combat this crazy economic time. So, also in this article, Pat McGinnis, HLC's president and CEO, declined to comment on this article or issue, which he was just recently presented as a new CEO just in January of 2022, I believe. Yes, just recently in January 2022. So he just became the new CEO of this company little over a year and a half ago. Also, in September of 2022, so literally just a year ago, a private equity firm, Middle Ground Capital, acquired HLC, with McGinnis saying at the time the acquisition would amplify HLC's growth. Last December, HLC added 7 sales reps, bringing it to a total of 22. So they basically were brought on to a CEO a year and a half ago, and then they got bought out by a new, or not bought out, but got help from the private equity firm to help grow the business. Obviously, we can see where that's kind of going. Maybe it's a fact of just people being smarter and saying, hey, this is working, this is not working. Cut it out. It might not look good in terms of the public eye, but if it's what's necessary deemed for the business, then they're doing what they have to do to save the business. It's obviously a crappy situation when people are involved and jobs are lost. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's going to make your company stay in business. Recently, before that as well, in June of 2022, they invested in $200,000 in Quebec City wheel shop facility, which provides North America with dealers pre-built wheels. So basically took 200 grand and put it back into there. So they're trying to do things to go ahead and generate revenue. But when it comes down to it, if there's an abundance of inventory and there's no demand for it, like I've always been saying, and these companies just over-ordered a crap ton and they expanded. A lot of people think that 2020 and 2021 era, interest rates were so low, people had all this money, they thought that was their workplace or that this boom would never end. But people just didn't realize that they had money to spend. Interest rates were low. The economy was doing crazy things. So people just took all this money that they spent or all this money they had and spent on stuff. Whereas all these other companies were like, damn, I'm doing something right in my company. Let's grow and expand. Quality opened up a new warehouse. Holly opened up a new warehouse. People brought on double their size of their employees, thinking that it was just their business and that they're going to continue to grow. Now we're seeing in 2023, close to 2024, businesses downsizing by half of their workforces, making the corrections they need to, going back to pre-pandemic numbers. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so when they do release the numbers or whenever they do release this information or say that they're going to close down these 2 warehouses or distribution centers, I think it'll be a massive impact to delivery times for Holly. I think obviously they have to go ahead and figure out a way to manage how they're going to get the product out to the consumers and retailers as well. We saw this with Quality. Quality did a couple of layoffs on there. And right after the layoffs, they even put a post saying, if you order on Monday, it won't get processed till Wednesday and then ship out like Thursday. They're just basically telling all their customers saying, hey, we're shorthanded. We're doing what we can. This is the case now. And I think you're going to see a lot of other companies go that way. Now, what does this mean next for the bicycle industry? Because we already saw it with some really big heavy hitters. We see e-commerce websites that are supposed to be the way of the future. E-commerce is supposed to be the way of the future. Wiggle and Chain Reaction closing down. We see Holly being in the news, a 75-year-old business that you would think would have a pretty good head on their shoulders, downsizing significantly, closing down distribution centers they just opened up 7 months ago. What does this mean for other companies? Could we see this from companies like Quality, who will open up another warehouse? Could we see this in companies like JBI? It's sad. It's sad to say because, again, I'm in the cycling industry. You guys all know this. I absolutely love it. I don't like to see people lose jobs. I absolutely love what I do. It's very sad. But if I don't speak on it It's not like it's just going to go away. So I'm here to bring you guys news, and I'm here to maybe give out information that I don't know if I can help it, but if I just say it, maybe someone could be like, hey, this is what we need to do. Everyone expanded during the pandemic. Even we thought about expanding during the pandemic because we literally had so many great sales. We had such a lack of payroll that we had to pay. Sales numbers are great. Product numbers are great. We were thinking about buying a new store. We were thinking about doing a remodel of everything. And we saw this. We saw companies do remodels. We saw companies bring on quadruple the work staff that they needed at the time because there was such a demand for their product. We saw people do full redos of their stores and move from one building to another and take on this massive rent because they never thought it was going to happen. The reality is that that was really just done by really low interest rates and free money that was given out, and people were kind of stuck inside their house and had this money and it was burning a hole in their pocket. And what else can they go ahead and rely on to was bikes because the gyms are closed and stuff like this. We all know this. So do I really know what's going to happen for the bicycle industry? I don't. What I can foreshadow for sure, what I know for sure is on Black Friday this year, I think you're going to see insane amount of deals. I'm talking about like fire sale deals, not just bicycle parts, but bikes in general. Not just from new bikes, but you're going to see maybe companies like Pros Closet. You're going to see a lot of people try to turn and burn inventory. So I have no information on that. No one told me this. This is just my guess. And who knows what's going to happen. But all I can say is just be smart with your ordering from now on. I know it's Captain Hindsight here. Just be smart with your ordering. And don't go to a grocery store while you're hungry. Because what happens is when you have all these sales come in and you think the water's never going to shut off, what happens is you overorder and then you're stuck with this inventory and then the money comes due, the loan runs out, and you're stuck. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Is this the bad side for the bicycle industry, or is this just a change of management with a new CEO and also a private equity firm rebuying and they're just remodeling what they need to do? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.